Once upon a time, in the forest of magical trees lived a group of ladybirds. They were perfect creatures, talented with dancing and words. The ladybirds were looked after by a fly, who watched over them, flying high. The fly didn't always have nice things to say about who they had seen earlier that day. They would start by saying if the insect was fat. Then they would specify the colour of their hat. And if the insect was fat, they would also say, imagine how much they must have eaten today. And so, a small hero, Raindrop its name, learns the rules of their carer's game. They thought to have value in the fly's eyes, they'd have to avoid all of the pies. And so Raindrop started to count and to skip, wanting to lose their perfect bodies every small bit. Raindrop was young, the brain not yet formed, and so to every imagined wish they had conformed. But when you plant a seed in such a small brain, it does not wash out during the rain. The ladybird grew up, left its family house, always malnourished, the shade of a field mouse. Raindrop thought it was living its life, married and divorced a ladybird wife. Some days they lived in the other gender, they always supported the gay agenda, but unlike the other males who went to the gym, they had only wished to forever stay slim. They knew they were different, for on the break, they were the only ones without a protein milkshake. The other lads strove to always be bigger. This one dreamed of extracting its fat with a digger. Then there were days on its feminine side, forever feeling that they had to hide. Have you ever scrolled down through New Look's ads? Girls so unhealthy they would never need pads. But somehow this was the ladybird's dream. It refused the joy of having whipped cream. And there were days when it got sad, and there were days that got really bad. A biology field trip. Someone had put them on a life drip. Raindrop felt a powerful rage. Unable to get out, they were kept in a cage. The human gave it some normal food. It pained, but the energy was good. And slowly, Raindrop began to recover. New priorities it began to discover. Food control broke, survival instincts kicked in. Raindrop no longer unnaturally thin. Its body felt like that of another, but everyone told them you're looking so well. Raindrop's eyes suddenly started to swell. What in the future was there to find, now that toxic part had been left behind? But some of that toxic part would still stay. Raindrop is living with it today. But everyone told them they were looking so well, when inside their heads they were living in hell. But everyone told them they were looking so well, so when they struggled, who could they tell? But no one knew this was the hard part. Everything they'd known about themselves was broken apart. And sometimes, when friends asked if they'd go for a ride, Raindrop made up some lie they wanted to hide. Tucked in a blanket, tight as a seal, no one could see them after a meal. Did Raindrop look different? Of course they did not. But with a meal inside them, they could never feel hot. They invented a reason to get out of sex. They ruined the chance of getting back with an ex. All because they needed to hide. No one understood this part of the ride. Stuck in a blanket, full of self-hate, too embarrassed to even message a mate. What was the logic? The mate could not see, but Raindrop felt they'd swelled to the size of a bee. And the pain in the heart was swelling too. They wanted someone to hold them like glue. They felt so alone. To whom could they say, I regret everything I have eaten today? They walked out of the house. The moonlight glowed. Suddenly all of Raindrop's tears had flowed. With salty water gushing, they felt a release. They suddenly noticed the movement of trees, and found themselves lost in a trance, what people call an interpretive dance. Every emotion felt was a move of their body, all of the feelings this dance could embody. And so, the insects came out to see. An unusual dance? What could this be? But when they actually started to look, everything laid out like a page in a book, and they could see the ladybird's story, all of the moments they had felt gory. And now they saw the pain underneath, quick recovery was really a myth. The audience wondered, what could they do? But for Raindrop, it was enough they did not boo. And as they finished the interpretive dance, they felt the power to give life a new chance. And even on days when they felt the low mood, it was enough. Someone now understood.